Welcome to Ventanita C.F. I am your host, Calypso, here solo dolo today with nothing but dog. Are you good? Are you good back there? He's fine. So Warrior could not be joining us today, which is fine. We're gonna get you guys an episode to get you all the information that you guys need for this upcoming weekend against Toronto, which should be a very interesting game. But before we look at that, let's look at where everybody is in the standings around the MLS. So as usual, we start with the East. We have uh, Atlanta, Nashville, and Cincinnati at the top, all with 7 points. Then we have ya boys, Inter Miami, and fourth with six. Also with six, we have Philadelphia and then New England. We also have Orlando at seven, and we have DC United at ninth, and Columbus at eighth. I got that backwards, but it's fine. They're both with 4 points. Then we have New York City FC in 10th with 4 points, finally picking up a full 3 points against us last week. Then we have upcoming opponents in 11th, Toronto FC, along with Red Bull New York, Chicago, and then bringing up the rear in the mud, we have Charlotte and CF Montreal, both without any wins, no ties, no points. You get nothing. Next, we have the West. We have St. Louis City still at the top of the Western Conference, yet to drop any points at all. And we have Los Angeles FC with six, also with Seattle and Austin and San Jose, also with 6 points. Then we have in sixth place, we have FC Dallas and then Minnesota with four. Then we have Portland Timbers with 3 points in eighth place. Then we have Real Salt Lake, Sporting Kansas City, and then with 1 point each, we have Vancouver, LA Galaxy, and Colorado. And bringing up the rear, also in the mud, we have Houston. So interesting mix up of games, results. St. Louis still being at top is crazy to me. But hey, MLS has actual parity, so it is what it is. Sorry about that. Going back to our main topics, looking at forward towards Toronto. Sorry if you can hear that noise outside. It's all good. We keep it moving. Toronto has not been great this season. A lot of people expect them to be top of the East, top of the whole MLS, to be honest with you. But they've not been great. They have the most scores they scored in the game was against DC United, and that was in a 3-2 loss. Their other games against Atlanta and Columbus ending up in 1-1 ties. So they're not doing so hot right now. They've yet to win a game. They've only lost and tied twice. We're actually playing pretty good, but that's been contingent on having our players um, like Gregory and others. But now that we've lost our midfield engine, that's going to be very difficult. Speaking of the huge loss to Gregory, we got the news yesterday that he's going to be out for about 6 months after receiving surgery for what happened with his, I believe it's called the Lisfranc. That's going to be a huge blow to our entire team. Not only him being our captain, but the way the midfield, the ball went through him. Everything went through him, and he was good on both sides of the ball, both offense and defense. So that's going to be a very large hole to fill. Phrasing, but it's going to be some tough shoes to fill. I'm pretty sure they'll put Bryce Duke in that position. They might rotate some people out. They might even change the formation, but hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. The formation has been changing. We're used to the formation. We've been practicing in that formation. And, I would assume that Phil Neville had a contingency plan for if Gregory was suspended or couldn't make a few games, because he did accrue a lot of yellow cards last season and the season before. So there were times where we had to play games without him, and that did hurt us. So hopefully we have contingency plans in place for this season. Now that we have a lot better players and we had a much better roster, and we had a pretty deep roster that we can be able to manage without them because we don't have a choice now. Luckily, our defense has been fantastic and stellar, except for that one mistake last week against New York City. It's an own goal. What can you do? McVay tried to clear the ball. Stuff like that happens. But we will see how things go up against Toronto. Things that need to happen. Joseph Martinez, I believe, needs to step up. That'll be a good way to help us especially when Gregory is missing. We need goals from other people besides people like Kristoff and Gene Mota. Gene Mota definitely should be scoring goals. So should Coco John, but Joseph Martinez should definitely be the guy up top that should be scoring goals. Hopefully he scores shit. I was gonna say at least one, but we need at least two from him. We need him to get to hit the ball, hit the ground running, and actually score some goals. He, I don't want to say my patience is wearing thin with him, but he needs to step up, especially now in a big way. We desperately need it. Speaking of players being out on Toronto, actually, Insigne is actually set to be out for at least 4 games. So that's, I hate to say like a silver lining or a good thing because you don't want to see players getting injured, but that could help us. Especially before that they weren't even playing well, and now on top of that, their best players injured. It's kind of our opposite situation. We were playing well, and then our best player gets injured. They are playing bad, and then on top of that, now their best player is injured. So now we have no reason not to pick up a full 3 points. I know it's going to be cold up there in Toronto, but that can't really be an excuse. You can't use the weather as an excuse. We bring teams down here from the north, and it's balls hot. So, and we've lost games in our stadium, not recently, but it does happen. So I don't want to use the weather as an excuse, but we need to actually pick up these points. We need to pick up all 3 points. We don't have the greatest schedule. Let me check while I'm here what our schedule is going to be coming up. But yeah, we need these 3 points. Especially Martinez needs to score in order to get his confidence, in order to get his fitness. He put a goal, he put a ball in the net against the against NYCFC, but it was ruled offsides, which I agree with. It was offsides, but we definitely need to see more production from Martinez in order for us to actually, you know, continue to be on a good run that we were this season. And at the beginning of the season, we did have that little mix up at the beginning with McVeigh, but we haven't let in any goals from any other players. The only goal we've conceded has been from a own goal. It is what it is. That is how soccer goes sometimes. But yeah, just a quick little look around the league, just to get you guys ready for the weekend. Nothing crazy to talk about. Yeah, we have George out. Martinez needs to step up. Toronto's not a great team right now, so there shouldn't be too big of a deal when it comes to getting these 3 points. But anyways, that will be it for now. And as usual, good luck and have fun.